I ordered the Carta Bella Cowgirl by Stephen Duncan's pre-order, and I got it in yesterday, and I'm in love. Let me show you what it looks like. The first paper, it goes on the list of one of my favorite ones. I love the flowers and the horses. Now I have three granddaughters, Amelia, Abigail, and Audrey, who all rode a mechanical bull. I have Audrey just this past summer. She started riding horses, but I have Abigail who's been riding horses and taking lessons now for about 3 years, maybe longer. So I have tons of pictures of her to use on this. The back side is this brown type floral, and that just looks gorgeous. Depending on what color you want to bring out, like this automatically brings out these brown horses, and they're gorgeous. This one here is a um, guitars. Yeah, I can say that, guitars. Now, not every paper has to be necessarily used for cowgirls. I have when my grandkids were little, they had a guitar they all used to love to play with. So this could be used for something like that. If you go to a music or band or something, you could use this paper can be used for that. So don't when you look at your paper, don't just box it into this is cowgirl and that's it. Look and see what you can use your papers for, other things. The back of this paper is this beautiful bluish teal color. And this paper together automatically brings out this blue. And depending on what color you want your pictures to show, like if you don't want the background to show, you want the main picture, depending on that is what paper you're going to choose to go with that. This one is the saddles, and the back of it is this one here. And this is really different. It's unusual. Most of them have more reds and yellows in this. So this is a really pretty piece of paper that can be used for so many things. Now I have this one here, and you guys know I don't always use this as much, but there are some in here that I would not mind using on my scrapbook pages. But the back side is another one of my favorites, so those aren't going to be used. This paper here is, and it's just going to be a gorgeous lamp. I love stripes, I love pink, and I love the distressed kind of a look that it has. One of my favorite ones. Now this one here has some more, and they're gorgeous papers. Um, I could use either side of this one here. She's whiskey in a teacup. I mean, there's a lot of these that are going to be really pretty. On the back is a simple, just more of a like a black and a cream color on the back. And this would be great if you have a heritage layout. If you have little boys that used to like playing with, the little horses, or if you have a farm with horses, this can be used for so many different things, not just necessarily the cowgirl page. Now we have this one with flowers. If you have a spring garden, if you have something on your porch, if you know, just any kind of spring layout, summer layout, this would be a really pretty page for that side. But this side is my favorite again. I mean, that I love the colors in this. I love stripes and checks and buffalo checks and buffalo plaid and that kind of thing. I love that. So this would be my favorite side that I would use. But if you wanted to do a lamp, I mean, that just brings out so much of the colors in the boots. So this would be a great lamp for so many different things. And we have this one here, Living Free, Riding Wild, Cowgirls. I love the colors in this. This reminds me of a truck my dad used to have when I was growing up, but it was a green one. That reminds me of that. This one here I love. Two hearts, one love, and a whole lot of country. That's just cute. But the back side of it is this, and I love both of them. So I may use this one, both sides of this one, but I do have others that look similar to this one. So this is a paper that I could use this side, but if I decided to try to start using some of this, then I do have something I could substitute. So you could look in your stash and look and see if you have something to substitute for this. This with the trucks on it, I find would be one of the harder ones for me to use. For one, the trucks are all pointing the same direction, and you don't want anything like, even if you're putting anything, embellishments or whatever on your page, you don't want things to be looking or going off the page. You want to put your embellishments around the page to be able to track the thing around. So if you have faces pointing out, or if you have trucks or cars or something that's going the opposite direction, then it's going to take their eye away from it. But if you take a paper and you put it like this, then it'll bring your eye toward what you want to use it. So that's probably how I would use this paper, as a border or like a strip. You know, if you put a strip here and just maybe put it here. But I would definitely use this in sections just so that it's not, you know, taking your eye away. But this one is the blue stripes on the back. So I do want to use this. I want to try this on a layout, but this may be one that I cut up and try to use on a couple of different layouts. And then we have this one here. This, I love this. I love the colors in it, the pattern. I love the fact that it's got two different sizes of the boxes on here. It's different and it's cute. And then we have a wood grain on the back. You guys know you cannot go wrong with a wood grain. Now this one here is another one that just I would cut. I think I'm about. I would cut this up and I would use it in different sections. Like this one here reminds me of a farm I used to go see my aunt, and she had mountains in her. You can see in her backyard, you know, the mountains and that kind of thing in there. And this reminds me of my grandmother on my dad's side. This reminds me of a tablecloth one of my other grandmother used to have on her table, and the hanging the clothes out on the line. My mom, my grandparents used to do that all the time. My first thought when I saw this is like something in the kitchen or the dining room. So I'm thinking a recipe. So when you get things like this, it doesn't necessarily have to stay with the kit. You could always use it in something else. But what I do is when I get ready to do this, when I get ready to play with this kit, I'm automatically going to cut those up and I'm going to put them with the papers or with the embellishments that I would use them for, because I am not going to be able to come up like, I know there was this chair somewhere and clothes hanging out somewhere, and I just can't remember where it's at because I won't be able to remember. So I automatically take them out. So that might be something that might help you when you see a sticker or anything that would go for something else. Automatically take that out at that time and put it with something else so that you know where you found it. But because I've separated and organized all my pictures, now I can tell, I know exactly what papers would go good with things and which pictures I want to go with it. I have a list and a complete system, and I will leave that linked below. So if you haven't organized your pictures, that has been one of the best things I've done for myself. I've recently done that maybe 2 weeks or so ago that I finished it, and I've already done 10 layouts, and I know when I see paper, and I know exactly which paper. So take the time, get your photos organized, because that was key for me. The back of this paper is this flowers, and I love the fact that it's got the different color flowers. It's not that traditional pink, yellow, blue kind of a thing, so that makes it different. And then we have the bull. Now, a bull does not look scary when it has all these flowers around it. This is a gorgeous piece of paper, and I know definitely going to use this on. I have 3 pictures of my granddaughters riding on that mechanical bull, and so that is definitely going to be used on at least one, if not all, of the layouts. But I need to save part of it because this yellow is gorgeous. But I have paper. I'm sure I can replace this. And I wouldn't have anything with the bull. But if you take your paper, and you know, I showed you earlier, if you put this color, if you put this paper with this, the first thing you're going to see is the blue. If you put the wood grain with this, it brings out the brown of the horses. But if you put this yellow here, all of a sudden you start seeing the yellow flowers that are in here, and that's not something that pops out. So when you're looking at your paper, just depending on what you want to see, just try different papers with it and just see what it's going to look like. You got this. I know you can use all these papers you have in your stash. I'm going to be doing some more, lots more layouts. I'm doing some organizing containers. I love shopping for organizing containers, so I'm going to share them with you guys. I list the photo organization down below. And the last thing I wanted to show you guys, my mother used to draw trees all the time. I loved watching her draw them. She was so good at it. And I don't have any trees of hers that she drew that I can find yet. But my granddaughter Abigail drew this tree for me. And she knows I miss my parents and a lot of family members. And so she put a cardinal up at the top of the tree. And then she put a cross with a crown on here, and then she put initials. Now she put mine and my husband's initials. She put my oldest son, Will, and Alyssa's initials, Paul and Amanda, and Christina and Ted on here. So she put my kids on here as well. I absolutely love this. I want my husband to carve my initial, mine and his initials in a tree. I would cry my heart out. You guys know I would. She signed it. I'm going to make sure it's dated. I will definitely be scrapbooking this. So you guys stick around and I will be talking to you soon. We got lots of scrapbooking to do. So grab your paper and come scrap with me.